I'm here with the Oracle Outlook for the week starting October the 3rd, 2016. In this video, I'm going to be doing an angel card reading, and this is actually a perfect day to do an angel card reading because today is September the 29th, and today is the day that's known as Michaelmas, or the Feast of the Archangels. And so to honor this day, I'm going to be working with the Angel Therapy Oracle cards. This is actually the very first set of angel cards that I got many moons ago, and so I was feeling led to use this week. So the Angel Therapy cards are by Doreen Virtue, and they are published by Hay House. So I have the deck out in front of me, and I've said the invocation, which is the way that I invite the angels in, so I've already done that. And I'm shuffling the cards, and when I'm working with angel cards, I'm always asking Spirit and the angels for insight, for guidance, for assistance that's going to be helpful to us in the upcoming week. So I'm shuffling the cards, and now I'm going to shuffle them my other way. Now I'm going to cut the deck and fan the cards. And I'm going to be picking the 3 for the week that call out to me. So the first card is going to represent energies for the beginning of the week that we need to be aware of. The second card represents energies for the middle of the week. And then our final card will round out the week. So I have 3 cards in front of me. So starting with the first card, which represents the beginning of the week, we have Past Life Issue. Okay, so that's the card. The card reads, "This situation has a basis in one of your previous lifetimes. Ask your angels to help you remember, release, learn, and heal from your past experiences." So if you are a person who believes, who subscribes to the idea of past lives, then this card is saying to you that there may be something that is going on in your physical world, in your life right now, that may have a past life trigger to it. So you could be asking for help from your angels to assist you in releasing whatever that energy is, healing whatever that energy is with that experience. The other thing about the past life, if you don't subscribe to the idea of having past lives, then this card can just be coming up because there's something from your past that's operating the way that you experience something in your present life right now. So it's like something from the past is coming back up into your life. Maybe something that you thought you had completed, something that you thought was finished business, and so there's some aspect of that that's coming back up in your life again. It could be an opportunity for you to maybe take a look at that past issue and saying, did you learn the lesson that you were maybe meant to learn from that? Because I'm a big believer in sometimes a past issue comes back up, it's because maybe we didn't learn the lesson the first go around. And so life is very interesting. It presents situations to us over and over again until we actually get the lesson. So it could be maybe something's coming back up in order for you to kind of take a look at that and ask yourself, did I learn what I was supposed to learn, or what I had intended to learn, or what the true purpose of that experience was? It could also be too that there may be a deeper layer of that experience. Maybe you thought you were done with it and it's coming back up because it's like the idea of an onion, and you're peeling down to the next layer of the onion. So it could be like maybe just a deeper level of that experience for you to work on healing from. So I'm seeing that. I'm looking at the image on the card, and the angel on the card first strikes me as Jesus. So it could be not only are you working with your healing angels about this past life experience, but it could also be that you're working with, and this is how I label Jesus, the master teacher and healer, about healing that experience. So if Jesus is an ascended master, or that kind of energy that you resonate with, that you work with, you might want to call on Jesus to help heal from that experience. I'm also thinking too in terms of maybe archangels Shamuel, because I'm seeing Archangel Shamuel. In terms of Archangel Shamuel's name means eyes of God, and the way I understand Archangel Shamuel is Archangel Shamuel can see things way down the line and see things way in the past. So because his name represents eyes of God, he can see things from all different perspectives. So it could be like you could call on Archangel Shamuel to help maybe see this situation in a way that maybe you haven't seen it before. Maybe that will also create the energy that you would need to have in order to help heal from the situation once and for all. I'm seeing that it could also be like you could be calling on the energy of Archangel Jeremiah, who is the angel of conducting life reviews. And so it could be like if a previous experience is coming up, maybe it's dressed up a different way, but the energy of it is still the same as the past, then it could be like you could work with Archangel Jeremiah and maybe do an honest self-evaluation or self-assessment, that kind of energy, to kind of maybe see what it is that you need to learn from having the experience come back up in the way that it's now coming up in your life. So I'm seeing that as the energy that's attached to the past life issue card. Moving to the middle of the week, we have books. One of my favorite cards, being a book lover. So we have books. Books, the card reads, your life purpose involves writing, reading, editing, or selling spiritually based books. So it could be going with the past life issue. I'm seeing a connection here. Going with the past life issue, if you are feeling called to write a book, it could be that you are being called to write either an autobiography or a memoir, but with it being designed to teach people something that you learned from having that past experience. Or it could be like maybe you are going to be writing something that's going to be helpful for people who are experiencing this idea of, you know, an issue that they thought they were completed, that they thought they were done with, and it's coming back up. History repeating itself. So it could be the ways that maybe we can go into an experience in a new way, maybe taking another look at it that's going to help heal it, especially if it's something that's coming back up. And the other thing about this past life issue card could be like maybe if you are either proficient in past life issues, you are a past life regressionist, or you have a past life therapy that you are thinking is going to be helpful to other people based on your own experience with that, then you're being called with the books card to maybe begin penning that. The other thing about books could be too, like you are actually a person who works with books. So you may be an editor. If you're not a writer, you may be an editor. You may be a proofreader. You may even sell books. You could be maybe working in a new age or a metaphysical bookstore, something like that. So it could also be too, like in the middle of the week, that you are being called to either do some research on something, or that you are trying to figure something out and you may need to read up on something in order to gain that sense of information. The other thing about books for me is that books can come up for a pun as being a reader. So I'm looking at the image and we have an angel who's reading a book. So it could actually be like you are being called to work with angel cards in particular, because we're talking about angels here. So maybe you're being called to become an angel card reader and study with that, or you know, some other kind of card reading system, and you're being asked to maybe, delve into that more. And it could be, you know, maybe you're finding a teacher who is teaching a course that resonates with you, or you're finding a book on the subject, something that's going to help you become more knowledgeable in your work and your skill as a card reader. So I'm seeing that as a possibility here with the books card. So I'm taking a step back and asking if there's anything else I need to say about this. The other thing that's coming to my mind is, and this is again connecting the two, I mentioned past life issues, but it could also be maybe person who wants to practice mediumship, people who are on the other side of the veil or in spirit, people who have had past lives. So it could be like maybe you are writing something about somebody who crossed over. It could be like maybe a historical figure. Maybe you are channeling not just an angel or a spirit guide, but maybe somebody who actually had a physical incarnation, and that you are getting information or guidance from this person, this being, and that you're being called to write that, or write down that information. It's making me feel like somebody may be channeling information from a person who was here, maybe a historical figure, and working on creating a manuscript or documenting that experience. So I'm seeing that with the 2 cards as well. So that's books in the middle of the week. And going to the end of the week, we have integrity. Okay, so I was looking through the cards last night in this deck, and this card really struck out at me. So I'm glad it's here, because it's making me feel like whatever the information I was getting when I was looking at it last night is part of the reading that I need to present today. So I'm going to hold the card up first, and that's integrity. The card reads, align your actions so that they match your values and inner knowingness of what's right for you. When integrity comes up, and this may be that there's a theme I'm seeing here too. With integrity, it's about making sure that your thoughts, your words, and your actions are in alignment with whatever is personally true for you. For me, this card comes up when we may be in a situation, or we're having an experience where we need to stand in our own personal truth. And so integrity says, okay, so what's true for you? Being in touch with whatever is personally true for you. And then asking yourself the question, are my thoughts, are my words, and are my actions in alignment with what I say is true for me? Are you a demonstration of that personal truth? The other thing about this card for me is that, in keeping with the 2 cards that came before it, it could be if you are dealing with a past life issue, it could be coming up for you to ask yourself the question, like, that was true for me then. Is that still true for me? Because the experience had some truth in it, or else you wouldn't have had the experience. So maybe it was true for you in the past, maybe it was true for you at that point in time, and that energy of that is no longer true for you. And so if that is the case, then what's true for you now, and then how can you let your life be more in alignment with the truth of who you are now, rather than the truth of who you used to be? So I'm seeing that as a possibility here with this. It could also be too, part of that is, if you are a card reader, or if you are a writer, or if you are delving into new age or metaphysical material that is true for you, it's just a matter of standing in that truth. And here's the other thing about integrity. Integrity for me is about, like, just as you honor what's true for you, honor what's true for other people. You may be in a space where you're all excited about these new things that you're exploring, or you're delving into it, that you're learning about. But keep in mind that as you talk about those things with enthusiasm, which is, of course, going to be the case, keep in mind, like, if a person doesn't resonate with that, don't judge that person, don't condemn that person, don't criticize that person for having the belief system that they have, because on some level, that is their truth. And so if you want your personal truth to be honored, because you may come into a space where you have to stand in that, you may have to, face some judgment or criticism from other people for believing the way you do about things. But keep that in mind. If that is the case, then that's also a lesson for you to, if you're going to stand in your personal truth, also honor the truths of other people. We all have an experience of what's true for us, and sometimes we fall into situations with people who resonate with that truth, and then sometimes we have experiences with people who it doesn't resonate with. And so that doesn't make it, a judgment or a condemnation or a criticism about the other person if they don't get where we're at. So I'm seeing that. So it's about, you honoring your integrity. So first, it's about you realizing what's true for you, and then making sure that your thoughts, your words, and your actions are in alignment with that personal truth, as well as holding the space for honoring the truth of other people. And so that will be how I wrap up this week's angel card reading. So I'm Jameson Mitchell, and as I sign off, I want to thank you for sharing this space here with me for this week's Oracle Outlook. And I look forward to sharing this space here with you again in a video in the future. So until then, I'm hoping that you have a wonderful day. I'm hoping that you have a wonderful week. And until we get together in the future, take care.